Hi everyone, this is a show and tell video for lesson 22 of Paul McWhorter's all new Arduino R4 Wi-Fi lessons for absolute beginners. Lesson 22 is titled Control Your Servo with Your Arduino. I was very excited recently to receive my Sun Founder kit through the mail. So this will be my first show and tell video using the R4 Arduino Uno Wi-Fi. It'll also be my first show and tell video using a servo motor where I get to actually move something with the Arduino. In lesson 22, control a servo motor with your Arduino, Paul shows us how to use a servo motor. He teaches us that a servo motor has 180 points of motion. It can receive a command between 0 and 180. And he also tells us that with the servo motor, we should give it a little bit of a delay time so that as the sketch cycles through the loops, you can have enough time for the gears to do each motion before moving on to the next loop. The homework task for lesson 22 was to use a potentiometer to control the servo motor. The potentiometer has 1023 points of motion. The servo motor has 180. In completing the homework, I knew that I was going to have to do an analog read on my potentiometer to receive a value between 1023 and 0 or 0 and 1023. I knew then I was going to have to convert that value out of 1023 into a value out of 180. And then I was going to need to write that value out of 180 to my servo motor. I used integers for my variables in this sketch. However, when I calculated my value for the servo motor and then sent that to the servo motor, that value, I used a float because it was going to end up being a decimal value. In my sketch, I used a delay time of 10 milliseconds in my void loop because I found that gave me the smoothest movement of my servo motor. Now we finally get to the show and tell part of the video. I'm using a screwdriver to turn my potentiometer, and you can see the servo motor is cycling between 0 and 180 degrees. If I pull up the serial monitor, you can see I've got values for the potentiometer and for the servo motor. The potentiometer goes between 0 and 1023. The servo motor goes between 0 and 180. If you've just stumbled across this video and you've got no idea what Arduino is all about, I'll put a link to the lessons that I'm following along with Paul McWhorter in the description below. Okay, that's my show and tell. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time.